Well, Gary, a disappointing derby for you, and your side's usually better than that. What was your view?
Yeah, we are. I thought that first 10 minutes, I felt we started quite brightly and felt we had the tempo that we needed, and we talked about pre-match and in the week. And I just felt as though the goal was a very, very poor goal from our point of view to concede. And I think that in any type of game like this, you don't need to give the opposition a lift. And as we know, the first goal is often crucial in these types of games. And we made 2 or 3 mistakes for their goal, and that's just the unfortunate thing about it. But I think what was definitive for me was that it wasn't so much the goal, it was the way we reacted to the goal, and we didn't react as well as I'd like us to, and we just perhaps showed a lack of composure at times. Towards the end of the first half, I thought we started to run off Clayton and get into some good areas, which I felt as though was better for us and improved us slightly. But again, we got the ball wide, didn't put enough quality in the box. Crosses kept it in the first man, but we kept floating it up to the goalkeepers, come and get out, and then we didn't play with enough composure or quality today.
I think Clayton Donaldson probably needs to don a suit of armour, doesn't he, to have the protection that he deserves.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing those moments. And again, listen, I'm gonna whinge about things like that because we've lost the game, but I think that the referee didn't deal with that all game. And for Williamson to come off the pitch and to get away with some of the things he got away. Listen, I'm not berating him for it. He's going to try to stop Clayton any way he can. But there was 4 or 5 clear, cynical fouls on Clayton where he was grabbed, he was pulled. He got absolutely nothing all afternoon, and I felt the referee just allowed that to continue. And that was probably a disappointing thing for me. Another one, I think, after about 9 minutes, we get an attack and their lad throws the ball over the advertising audience. The referee warns him, but does nothing about it all game. Just slowed the game down. And listen, I've got no issue with that because we would do exactly the same. But that's when the referee has to deal with it and has to be a little bit stronger. And I felt as though that didn't help us today. But listen, again, that's not the reason why we lost the game. We lost the game because we didn't show enough composure and we've conceded 2 very, very poor goals.
Second half, you had a lot of the ball, you pinned Wolves back a lot. I mean, they didn't really offer that much of a threat, but of course they go and nick the second goal.
Well, you're always vulnerable when you're chasing the game. We've ended up as many attacking players on the pitch as we could. Again, when we do that, we've got to be patient in the way we play. We've got to try and have a little bit more composure. And you're always susceptible to a counter-attack, and that's what they did. I think a goal came from us, made another mistake to give them a corner, and then we don't go and deal with it. It's as simple as that. So, like I said, 2 very poor goals. I don't think Wolves have carved us open at all today. I felt as though for the most of the game we were actually in control of a lot of the game, but that's fine. You can't do that in front of teams. You've got to hurt them, you've got to penetrate, and you've got to create chances, and we didn't do that well enough.
We're all standing here now disappointed, but I guess that is also a measure of the way that this team has progressed since the last time that Wolves were here and the last time that Blues went to Molineux.
Well, exactly. If you look at Wolves playing us last season, they started the games and played the games as though they were a better team than us. I think, like you say, a show of our progression. They've come here today, they've given us respect, they've dropped in and tried to counter, and they looked to me like they were quite happy coming and maybe taking a point out of the game the way they're set up. But again, we always have to have that balance about us. We're disappointed, but in the last 6 games we've won 4 and lost 2. So, is that a poor run of form? To lose the last 2 is disappointing, but it's about the accumulation of points over a season, not over little periods. I think this time last year Brentford had 2 less points than us. This time last year we had 11 points after 14 games. So I think if you see where we are now, I'm quite comfortable with that. But we do have to improve a little bit around our home form and about how we perhaps approach these games where teams don't want to come out and open up against us.